Disclaimer. This video is made for entertainment purpose only, it doesn't mean to hurt anyone, and don't take it seriously.
Yeah, listen to some Ice-T, squeeze the trigger. We're gonna get copyrighted. We're gonna get copyrighted anyways because we're listening to Penquin.
Sweat my crew trying to
Come to my show, searching my car.
Man, I'm sick of the cop.
Yeah. Rampage in my thieves, my crew's in a rage. Did you ever listen to Ice-T?
Oh,
Yeah, I know. Did you listen to Ice-T?
I did not growing up. No.
You missed out.
I did watch a recent thing with him and Stone Cold, though. It was pretty cool.
Him and Stone Cold. Oh, in the movie?
Yeah. It's not Broken Skull Sessions because that's a WWE one. It's a TV show that Stone Cold does now with celebrities. Like he takes them on. It's like, I forget the name of it now. It was on a streaming platform. I seen it on.
Ice-T is awesome. Anyways, I just
Yeah, he
saw
was
an
pretty
article
cool.
on
They took
him.
him back to his old neighborhood and everything.
Huh.
I could think of the name of that show. It's hosted by Stone Cold. It can't be that difficult to find, but yeah. Froze.
If I could only think of the show, I wish I knew what the show was called. I brought it up. I don't know the name of the show. Stone Cold.
Speaking of which,
Broken School Ranch. What?
This is the funniest damn thing. That's the funniest damn
Rocky
picture,
looks
yeah.
like he does look like the penguin. So
I was looking for we were assembling a thumbnail while we were waiting to record this. I was supposed to send you the Rocky picture. So 5 whatever seconds later, I realized that I sent it to Rocky. I'm like, it shows that and Rocky, and I'm like,
back?
oh motherfucker, no. He's supposed to be at work, like fucking hate you guys. I'm never going on your show again.
Why do you always put me on the show like I care?
Put me on thumbnails like I'm on a show. What are you making fun of me?
Did you see one of his wrestling events where he was getting tickled as one of the moves?
Oh, absolutely not.
No, some guy was tickling him from behind.
No.
Yeah.
No, why? Why, Rocky? Why?
He was like locked in a hold. I can't remember what the hold was, and then someone tickled him, and maybe it was a kid. Maybe it was a kid's event.
Was it a effeminate wrestler tickling him?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I went into that detail.
Well, did he look like that?
He was wearing like a ball and gag, and he had like a leather outfit on.
Oh, geez, that's disgusting.
It's all a joke. I don't know. I just saw.
Brian, how the fuck did I get
saw
in this
the
match?
tickling. I just saw the tickling.
Tickle me, Elmo.
Tickle me, Rocky.
Right now, everyone. Yeah, never get home. Try to always get him on the show. He's got some sort of
now
reason
he'll never go
not
on
to
the
come
show.
on. Well, what the hell did you send me this baby picture for?
And then you
with
guys
my face on it.
Then you said I was tickling
What's
me,
going on?
tickle me. All right, before we get into
Talk with my therapist. He says, never go on me podcast. You listen again.
So how do you think that this Penguin series portrays the actual comic book itself? How do you see this being? Do you see this being pretty genuine to how the comic book series was written, or do you think they twisted this to reach the new generation of Batman cartoon comic book enthusiasts?
The only real resemblance really to Penguin is the waddling, and maybe obviously the physical appearance of him kind of leans towards it, but that and the fact that he's a mobster, which is basically more of a later iteration of him. Like he became the owner of the Iceberg Lounge, which has been a Penguin staple now, I think, probably for the last 20, maybe some years or so in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that really originated in a show, or if I want to think when he became Mayor Penguin, he kind of became a spot where he was untouchable for a little bit in a comics storyline where he was the mayor of Gotham City. So they kind of hint at that too on this, like he's got ties with that, like maybe that's direction they'll go. I think they took some liberties. I mean, Falcone obviously died in the movie, and I'm pretty sure he's dead in the comics. but they were pretty faithful. I mean, if we're obviously breaking out spoilers at the end, obviously because we're reviewing this, Falcone is revealed, and I believe hinted at and maybe revealed officially at the end of Batman Long Halloween, which you can get in a trade paperback format, to be the father of Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman. So she, at the end of the show, we're just kind of breaking everything wide open. Sophia is sitting back in prison, and she gets a letter from Catwoman, basically Selena Kyle, and that's
And that's
basically
supposed to be her sister.
that's her sister. So Falcone, and I think they did hint at the movie kind of because she's at kind of after answers for all that type of stuff, and yeah, in the comics it was revealed that she basically is
She's a
at least
Falcone.
at least she's part Italian, yeah, half Italian.
So
at
what
least.
what do you think the spinoff that this is going to be? I heard the Scarecrow series was supposed to be a thing with that doctor. He was supposed to be the Scarecrow. They think he's going to be the Scarecrow.
That's not. Why wouldn't they just call him Jonathan? I mean, obviously they maybe want to keep it some, but like Scarecrow has always been Jonathan Crane, unless they say that was an alias. Julian Day is the Calendar Man, which was also in Long Halloween. So if say the creators of the show or producers are fans of the Batman The Long Halloween, which is a pretty prominent, it was like a year long maxi series that kind of got collected in trade paperback. It seems like they're a fan of that series because Falcone and Catwoman and Sophia, the whole family that's involved in the Long Halloween. So I kind of feel like the Julian could be the Calendar Man, which is kind of an obscure Batman villain, but his real last name is Day. But I mean, if they said my name is Julian Day, that would just give it away. He's Calendar Man, but I would feel like maybe he'd be closer to Calendar Man. A Scarecrow feels like should be done maybe a little differently. Like he's been in what, Batman Begins, and they had him kind of had him in every movie, I guess, in some form. He was even in the last one, but I hope not. I don't know. I just don't want him to be Scarecrow.
How did you feel about him killing Victor at the end of the series?
It was pretty cold, but I remember I told you that I thought he should have probably killed him earlier. So it didn't surprise me because I figured if he's truly a ruthless mobster, the guy seen him kill the Falcone, he probably should have killed him in that junkyard or whatever the hell they were in. But see, the way they did it, they made you care about him, and then they took him out. I don't know if I thought that was going to happen there, but to be honest with you, I don't think that didn't surprise me. It was just a very cold way for poor Vic to go out kind of like that because he was a good underling to him, and he fucking just did him dirty at the end once he called him family.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why would he do that? I don't understand what was the point of that.
Well, think about it. They used his mom to get to him, and then he was still denied. That was pretty intense scene too, where they almost took her finger off.
Yeah,
and he would not admit to killing his brothers, which that I thought was really maybe over dramatized. Like he locks his brothers in the sewer, doesn't let them out. That's kind of fun. That was just kind of, I don't know. I thought that was maybe too over
dark.
I don't know, dark. It just feels like that was a little too over the edge, like jumping the shark a little bit. They call it when it's beyond the realm of believability. Why would he locks his? They never really showed them teasing him. If they showed him fucking with him more, maybe it was to just show how cold he was out of nowhere. He had some kind of weird infatuation with his mom, but I don't know. I felt like that was a little maybe over the top.
What about the little kid that played him? Do you think that was a good character?
Yeah, I thought I mean, the kid did okay. I mean, did you see that he could become the Penguin in there when you looked at him? Did you say, "Hey, that's a little"?
Yeah, I just didn't understand why it was like it almost like it switched. It switched the kind of what the hell we were talking about because all of a sudden he talks about how he killed his brothers and his mom was going to get him killed, and it just seemed like all of a sudden we took a different road to where we were with the woman and the Falcones and all that stuff going on. It seemed like all of a sudden we had to do a backstory of what happened to his brothers, and it came towards the end of the series, and it was just like, I don't know, it kind of left you like thinking, what the hell's happening? So all of a sudden
Yeah.
all of a sudden we're talking about his brothers and how he killed them and how his mom didn't really like him. And now you're like, I don't understand why all of a sudden we're going down this road.
The reason I think they did that was to create him unlikable by the end. Like they tried to create, I think, by the beginning of the series, because you were kind of rooting for him. He was escaping death. He was almost killed many times in the show. You're looking at all these other characters. You kind of feel bad for her, obviously, because she's also a great actress, Kristen Milioti. But yeah, I think by the end, you probably had some sort of affinity for him. And I think by having him be confirmed to kill his brothers, kills Vic, they want you at the end to think, hey, he's a slime bag. He's got his mom alive in there and he's dancing with a prostitute that's dressed like his mom. You want to really say, hey, this is kind of a creepy sleaze bag by the
end. It was
end.
creepy, was it not?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, so I think they wanted to do a turn by the end to feel like, okay, if he appears in the next Batman movie, which obviously probably should, that you're going to see this guy and not be rooting for him because he's supposed to be a Batman villain, not an anti-hero of any sort.
So how did you think? Do you think it was a good series?
I thought it was better than the Batman movie, only because most of the scenes in the Batman movie that I thought were really good was Batman chasing Penguin. So I think this. Plus, I like her a lot. I think she's just a phenomenal actress, and I think they did a good job focusing on her story. In the comics, she's kind of like kind of like what you would call like she's like a really big, like
who are we talking about?
Amazon. Like in the comics, Sophia Falcone is like or Sophia Gigante Falcone. She's like a giant basically. So it's like in her name. She's actually like for an Italian. It's I know it's stereotypical, but Italians are pretty short normally. But she's like ginormous in the comic.
She's a woman penguin.
Yeah, so in the comic she's a giant, which could manhandle anybody. But she probably could beat the shit out of Penguin in the comic. But in the series, she's obviously like you would picture an Italian woman normally, just a petite. But that stuff aside, like her acting, phenomenal in the prison. She's a real Batman fan. Every interview I've seen with her, she's just full of charisma. She's just a really, I mean, you could see she feels like just a real cool person you'd want to actually.
Do you see her being in movies, Batman movies?
I don't know. You would think if they want to continue this and they continue her story into a movie, they could and tie it into Catwoman. Maybe Catwoman busting her out. Maybe who knows? But if she feel like she got a raw deal, her sister is a half sister now is Catwoman. So you never know. I mean, she certainly has the acting chops to carry a movie. I mean, she was in How I Met Your Mother. She was the real, basically, mother in the show, and I felt like she was better for the main character than who they put her up. They killed her in the show, basically, in the finale of that, if you've ever seen that show. But she was a later added character that kind of revealed to be the real mom of the show, not the Robin character. And I actually thought she had better chemistry with
How I Met Your Mother, the little comedy series.
Yeah, the one with Colby Smulders, Neil Patrick Harris, who plays Barney. That show. I'm sure you've seen clips of it. I haven't even seen the entire show, but I've obviously seen the end, and I've seen some of the episodes leading into it. She was a highlight of the show for me. I thought she was just very lovable, and you could just see she just exudes charisma. She's like her almost playing a darker character, which she did really well. Troubled character is kind of like anti her personality. If you see her, she's really kind of a bubbly, kind of real, talks kind of quick. She's a fun. So somebody you'd really probably want to hang around and shoot the shit with. She's so
you want to hang out at parties with her. She seems cool.
You want to marry her?
I want to be her friend. Let's call her right now on the phone.
Let's get her on Zoom.
Let's get her on our podcast. You want to be on a podcast?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be on a podcast.
Yeah. It's cool that she actually was a real Batman fan. She almost was like giddy with excitement talking about how she was in the Arkham outfit and just playing the villain. So yeah, it's cool when you can have an actor that really enjoys it.
What do you think of that girl that she saved? She spared her life. Do you think that girl's going to become a character in the Batman series?
I'm trying to remember her name.
I don't remember her name either.
If her mom maybe was Carla. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. That's a good point. That's
because they seem to focus on her too. So they brought her
yeah.
back
So
into the scene.
maybe
Makes me
maybe that
wonder if she's going to be vengeful against her and come back and try to kill her. Since
the
she
last
killed off
surviving
everybody.
member, basically outside of the Catwoman and her, yeah, of that family. Sure, that's a storyline that maybe they can revisit down the road if they want to. When she's so young, though, I mean, how many years are they going to do that? Because this is now an alternate movie DC timeline. Because what James Gunn's doing actually started in the cartoon they just released yesterday on Max. That Creature Commandos is set in the universe with the same voice actors who would play them in live action. That's the actual DC movie. This is the alternate, kind of what they call the Elseworlds story. So this is a Batman that you will not see interacting with Robin in the new Superman movie. This is completely its own deal. So I don't know. I don't know if they'll have enough time to really tell that story because I mean you'd have to keep probably putting out TV series. I don't think that's a thread that would probably make it to the Batman movie. And if it did, it would be realistically probably have to be a fourth or fifth sequel to the film. I don't even know if she would be old enough for a Batman 3 to really be a factor. Because I don't even know if she's
it'll
a real
be
character.
like Cobra Kai, and characters will come out and they're like next day, and they're all like 10 years older.
Kenny from Cobra Kai was aged 10 years in front of our eyes.
He just came over on the plane and he grew a beard.
He's now unstoppable. For some reason, Devin is just there and she's not even participating anymore. She's just a cheerleader.
Yeah, they wrote her off. Didn't want to take her off the show, just made her stand in the background. So I didn't really I watched it, but I didn't really get into it as much. I thought it was kind of too dark to the point where we were just focusing on him being a mobster the whole time. And you're right, they did make you feel kind of like you want to root for him and kind of feel sorry for him. They get you to get to feel like he cares about his mother, and then we just went down that whole different road of killing his brothers and his mom hates him, and then it just like changed everything, and then totally forgot about Victor, and then they brought Victor back in towards the end and just kill him. So
I figured you would like that because I was thinking about you.
I like that guy, and also he's just strangling him, and I'm thinking, dude, Victor could have put up a better fight than that. You can't just strangle someone. I mean, he could have brought the leg in, kind of did a little more judo, but he just sat there.
I was like probably just strangling your own dog. Just really felt like
dumb.
Just a gut punch for Coach JC. I was watching.
Yeah,
I'm like, Coach JC, not gonna like this one.
No, I don't understand. He was such a sweet kid. He did so many
he did
things for him.
He did. He came back for him, saved his life when the Maroney family.
Yeah,
who I'm not related.
What are you doing, man? Just totally turned me off at the end. So
yeah, that was pretty dark what they did. Did him dirty, but I mean, like I said, realistically, if he was as ruthless as he was from the start, he could have found anybody to be Vic. I mean, he begged for his life, but Penguin didn't feel like he was that stupid where, okay, maybe he gives him one shot, doesn't kill him in whatever the junkyard. When he fucked up, when almost got him killed at that party where he came back and everything, where they were chasing him out of the Falcone house. I felt like Penguin probably was going to kill him there. Because at that point, I figured, well, but he fucked up royally. He wasn't able to do what he asked him to do. And I felt like they're more than likely any mobster are probably going to kill him there because he fucked up. So it didn't surprise me. Yeah, I was supposed to make you hate him, but it didn't surprise me because I figure, well, this kid has had 9 lives at that point, or at least 3 or 4, because Penguin really let him off the hook a couple times where he probably normally would have killed him. So that didn't surprise me. And he wasn't a name. Victor Aguilar is nobody in the comic. So there was a character created for the show. So I didn't feel like he was surviving that. Not that I really was paying that much attention of, well, he's going to survive at the end of the show, but it didn't surprise me. So it was sad, obviously, but it didn't surprise me.
Well, to switch gears, did it surprise you that the Chicago Bears fired their head coach?
It did not. In fact, you keep hearing stuff out that maybe they weren't allowed to fire him at the end of last year. He really should not have came into this year as the coach, and it showed. He cost us a lot of games with a lot of boneheaded coaching calls Yeah, that was just the last straw. And I think really George McCaskey was really the guy running it, not his 90, 100-year-old mom or whatever, Virginia. But that's a buffoon and a half, dude. Like this guy should do nothing with any football decisions at all. For years, we've sucked and been just a horrible team because of this guy acting as the owner of the Bears. And he just needs a butt out. If they wanted to fire him, which he should have been fired at the end of last year, I don't give it. They shouldn't have gave him that long of a contract as a head coach. This is a first-time head coach. I don't know if you give him 4 or 5 years. That's stupid, dude. You've proven nothing. You're the defensive coordinator of a team. Maybe 3 tops. Like, what would you give a first-time head coach?
3 years.
You would give him okay. So realistically,
give him 3 years. So you
3
get
years
one.
tops.
You get 1 year to make a difference.
Yeah.
Second year, you should see change. By the third year, you should see progress or defeat.
Yeah.
If you wait, because you really can't gauge it after the first year, because the first year he could be taking over shit. So you can't really change anything overnight.
Yeah.
The second year, you should see transition, but then by then, the transition should be going up.
Yeah.
So the third year should be either keep going in the same direction or kind of plateauing, but still being better than you were year one. If your third year, you're doing worse than your second year, then you're probably not the greatest coach to have there, because it means that the second year was just kind of a fluke. It just happened to be what it is. And so it's kind of like the Cardinals. The Cardinals this year are having a great year. I'm sure everybody thinks it's the coach, but it's year 2. And this coach is brand new, I think, this year. And so you're just looking at same with they're already talking to get rid of the Raiders coach. He's only had a fucking 1 year. This is his first year being the head coach of the program. So getting rid of him right now would just be kind of premature.
But in your case, it's the same thing. Say Thomas Brown, who's now the interim coach of the Bears, does really well and the players stick up for him. Now we're in the same position as the Raiders are now. Is Pierce really the long-term solution at coach, or is it just because he's that much better than the last coach for the players-wise and the environment, but he still might not be the best decision maker? I mean, obviously, you're still determining that as a fan. You've watched more Raiders.
I think this year has been bad for the Raiders. I'm not sure Antonio Pierce is making decisions.
Do you feel like he's costing them games, or do you feel like irregardless they were losing these games?
The coaches are costing us games. I don't think it's just him. Like I said, I don't think he's making decisions. He may not be the best coach to take control of a team.
Yeah.
So put it in perspective of the ASU coach. I don't know if you're following any Arizona sports, but like ASU this year, they're going to the Pac. They're going to the Big 12 championship. Last year, they were 3 and whatever. This year, they have a winning season. They're number 1 in the Pac, the Big 12. So they're competing with Iowa State for the Big 12 championship. If they win, they go to a national championship, college football championship playoffs. So that's like the first time any Arizona teams ever probably made it to a playoff, which they're competing with like Oregon, like Ohio State, Alabama. They're playing with all these big dogs. And that's pretty big for ASU, to be in that type of situation. So looking at the coach, well, the coach changed the entire culture of this program because he came in and he basically pushed on his beliefs and everything into the program, and the kids buy into it. I think Antonio Pierce had that type of intentions, but I don't think he has enough control over who starts, what does this, who does this. And if he does, he's not making good decisions as a head coach to stop these bad decisions from his other coaches, like saying he should be the head coach, he should be the starting quarterback, he should start on this. Because I think that like our biggest problem was we had Adrian O'Connell as our starting quarterback last year when they got rid of what's his name, Liner, or what? Not Liner. What was that guy's name? They got rid of. It was the dude. He was the backup for the Patriots. What was his name for Tom Brady?
Garoppolo.
Yeah, so they got rid of him, and then they were like, give it to O'Connell. And then the fans were behind it, like, just do it. And so when they got rid of the coach and they got rid of the quarterback, and Adrian O'Connell did okay. And then all of a sudden, starting of this season, they give it to freaking Minshew. And Minshew's a backup quarterback. He's a backup quarterback everywhere he's been. And all of a sudden, they gave him the keys to the kingdom, and he sucks. And so they weren't going to take him out. And they just kept Adrian O'Connell. And then they started Adrian O'Connell. He broke his finger. So now you have to go back to Minshew. So they bring back Minshew in.
Is it Aiden or Adrian? Is it Aiden O'Connell?
Aiden. And so they go back in and they bring back in Minshew, and he sucks, man. He sucks. And so then he finally gets hurt where he can't play. So now they have to put Aiden O'Connell back in. And Aiden O'Connell almost beats the fucking Chiefs in the last game. And then you're like, dude, the kid is not a bad quarterback. He's just young. He's only been there for 1 year. This is not really.
Where was he drafted? What round? You remember?
I don't know. I don't think he was even. Maybe he wasn't even drafted. They might have just picked him off.
Oh, they just signed him off the streets.
He was.
Why wouldn't you want to see him? Oh, you know what you're getting with Minshew. Obviously, he's hurt now. So why wouldn't you have wanted to see Aiden O'Connell from the start?
Aiden O'Connell was. Dude, this kid was born in 1998. He's like the age of my son. So
my son, Aiden O'Connell.
So he committed.
Back of the Raiders.
He committed. He went to Purdue, and then he went to Wheaton College. But then he switched to Purdue, and then he was drafted. What was he drafted in? He was drafted in the 4th round. He was 135th pick.
So that would warrant a look, wouldn't you think? Why
they did. They did look at him. They put him in when Garoppolo was taking a shit, and they put him in. All the fans were like, put in Aiden O'Connell. They wanted this kid. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, they get Hunter Mint or whatever.
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, whatever the hell his name is. Let's see when he was drafted. When was he drafted by? Who was he drafted?
I think he was Jacksonville, didn't he? And then he went to the Philadelphia Eagles.
He's always been a backup, though.
Yeah, for the most part, he played a lot for Jacksonville. I think 1 year.
He was drafted in the 6th round. I think he was like a starter for the Eagles at one time. But
I think by default,
he was selected in the 6th round of the 2019 draft by the Jaguars, where he played his first 2 seasons and set a franchise record for a rookie passing touchdowns. So since then, he's been a backup quarterback.
Yeah, for the Eagles.
So they bring him in. And I don't know what they were trying to do. You had this kid start all last year, and then you just change it. So then it's just kind of that whole fucking jumping around thing. And so now all of a sudden we're back to them, and they almost beat the Chiefs, minus the miscue at the end. But again, our kicker missed 3 field goals. If we would have just made those, we would have won.
Well, what the hell do you have? Amir Abdullah playing running back right now? Because both of your running backs are out. Like, how the hell are you expecting? What do you? How you expect to win?
Fine. Our Raiders are the Raiders. They don't have an injury report.
Oh yeah, Zamir White has been out. So is Madison for the last 2 weeks. Maybe Madison might return.
But dude, we did fine. And so, but at this point, what do you think?
Abdullah didn't really give me that many points last week.
Let's think though. What do you think is going to happen now with the team? Because they're second in line for the draft. They're second draft pick in the draft setup right now.
What's your record? Two wins?
Like three wins.
3 wins.
So maybe it is 2 wins. Maybe we're like 2-10. It's fucking. Here's the thing, though. So I got free tickets to go see him December.
Got YouTube TV for this shit.
I got December 22nd free tickets to go see the Raiders play the Jacksonville Jaguars, which Lawrence is out after that hit to the head. And so
it's Mac Jones now for them.
Do you think they're even going to try to win a game? Or do you think they're going to try to they're both competing for probably the first round draft pick? What do you think that's going to look like for the fans? They're going to snap the ball and everybody's going to stand there and stare at each other.
I don't think they're going to take a quarterback though, Jacksonville. So you wouldn't have to worry about them leapfrogging you.
Dude. Can you see two teams in the end of the season? They're fighting for who's going to play for the first round of the draft. And I could just see them snapping the ball, and they all just stand up and look at each other. And then they're like, score a touchdown. I'm like, no, I don't want to. You tackle me.
You go
Hey,
ahead.
tackle
No,
me.
you go
Ooh,
ahead.
I dropped the ball. Look, it's on the ground. Pick it up. No, you pick it up. This seems like a really bad game to get free tickets to. Especially now that Trevor Lawrence is hurt. We should win. We should fucking win just hands down. But it's like, this is gonna be ugly. Because teams are starting to take a back seat saying we don't want to win games.
Your
we want
best
to get a
player
draft
is
pick.
Crosby. I mean, Jacoby Meyer's doing pretty good for you. And obviously Brock Bowers is incredible. So you might have enough talent where you probably should win that game because Mac Jones, they're still kind of evaluating just to see what he has left after acquiring him. I mean, they got Brian Thomas Jr.
And don't forget, we have Ritter. We have Ritter from the Falcons. That's our other backup. What the fuck is that guy?
Hey,
I'd rather just give it to Crosby.
Shit.
Let Crosby play quarterback. Big old long arms, just running around. I will say one thing.
That's like the toilet bowl of this week.
Our best draft pick. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for this free tickets. But I'll just tell you this. Our best draft pick was not stupid, but our best draft pick is Bauer. That dude is Bauer's awesome.
Really good. Yeah, he's
awesome.
A stud.
And he was picked. Yeah. I don't think he was picked. He was picked. He was their first round draft pick.
He was late first round because I think he fell a little bit, but he was clearly the number one tight end, obviously, in that draft. But yeah, he had he had just a difference maker grade on him where you knew you were getting a elite caliber pass catcher when you drafted him. So yeah, I think you got him lower than projected. If I'm not mistaken.
He was drafted by round 1, pick 13. So he was their first draft pick.
Yeah, maybe.
He was a good decision. He was really good.
Yeah, I would say so. I think you got what
he's probably one of the best. He was probably one of the best tight ends that came out of Georgia. He was good.
I think he's number one tight end in all football, right?
Dude, he looks awesome. I mean, who did we used to have? What was that tall guy's name that we had before him? That was
Foster Moreau.
No, we had a tight end before him we had, and then they gave him to the Ravens. What was that dude's name?
You didn't have Likely, did you?
No,
they drafted him.
It was the tight ends. Who did we have? Who were the? It was the real tall dude that went to the Ravens.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know if he's still on the Ravens. He was he was a star for a little bit. What the hell was his name? Oh,
but he was our player. He was our player, dude.
I don't know why Rudolph keeps coming into my head.
We have tight end Michael Mayer. That guy is still around. I haven't seen him do much though. What the hell was that guy's name though? He
was decent for a while. Yeah, you're right. I know who you're talking about.
Carr used to throw to him all the time.
Yeah. He got hurt a lot. What the hell was his name?
I'm gonna look.
Yeah. He couldn't stay healthy. That was his issue for a while. But yeah, he was a fairly elite tight end for a little while too.
So, but again, we just struggle with keeping. I don't know if our coach, just like you guys, is the solution to the Raiders. So
probably not.
I don't know. They keep talking about trying to get Bill Belichick, which I don't think is a thing. And I don't know exactly where we're going with the whole. I mean, look at Josh Jacobs. We give up him, and he looks a hell of a lot better on the.
He's still good on the Packers. He's actually seems like because he's more durable. He's played the whole season. Seems to be more durable than obviously Dylan was out for the whole year now. But Jones has had his injuries, and he still does with the Vikings. He's had his games where he's missed.
It's nice to see Devontae Adams not doing well. So he can pout all he wants on the Jets. Dude, the Jets are such a disappointment. It's not even funny.
Yeah, and then he went to the Jets, and now his buddy Rodgers may not even be there next year.
Why would Rodgers even want to play anymore?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Come on, that's some kind of opinion.
No, I mean, where would he play, really, in all honesty? If he proved he couldn't win with the Jets, who's going to take him? He's obviously going to want to be a starter wherever he goes. So,
well, obviously, you don't think he's not gonna. He's not gonna.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's not gonna play backup for any team.
Yeah, he's not gonna be a damn He's not going to be a damn
Yeah,
backup to anybody.
Yeah, he's not gonna be. He's a Hall of Famer. Obviously,
Someone will be like, "Oh, dude, he'd be a really good. He'll teach these kids how to play the game." He'll be like, "Fuck that! I'll just go."
I could see him
weed.
probably coming out of retirement to play for a team that loses their quarterback early next year. I could see that. Say if he
maybe he goes to the Raiders.
Yeah, that was bandied about once, wasn't it?
That's what
Remember?
they said. They thought they
Yeah.
was going to go to the Raiders. Then we'll get Devontae Adams back.
I think he'd more likely go to New Orleans and play with Carr. But
can you see us getting Devontae Adams back? That would be some funny shit.
Yeah, I don't think New Orleans would need him though next year if they get Olave back. And who's the other guy killing it? Shaheed. They were killing it for a while until they lost everybody to injuries.
We had Witten as a tight end for us for a while. Did you remember that?
No, you still can't find that guy's name.
Oh, dude, it's killing me. I just have to look up his name.
2 years ago.
I even see his picture. Let me see if I can highlight his picture.
Dude, 2 years ago, picture of it's on the tip of my tongue too.
Tight end back then. Waller.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Darren Waller, right? Darren.
Yeah, he was good.
That's it. Yeah, no, he went to the Giants, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't even know if he's still playing with them.
They got rid of him, and then I was like, why would you get rid of the only target that the car throws to most of the time? Was that Darren Waller? He was pretty good.
He just couldn't stay healthy. I think that was the problem.
So we traded him, and then everything went downhill. So I'm hoping next. I don't think again every year we always say this thing. Hoping for a good rebound. Here's one of the things I think is the bad thing. Don't do fucking the HBO special show, the Hard Knocks. Don't do that because you guys suck.
The coach is going to be fired.
Suck. Right? Yeah, everybody sucks.
Gruden was like, "Oh, Eberflus lost his job."
Don't do Hard Knocks because it just fucking just kills you. And now they have the AFC South Hard Knocks episodes, and I'm thinking all those teams on there are probably gonna start losing this weekend. They showed Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati. Another team that I actually like watching is Cincinnati, and I'm disappointed. I feel bad for them, man. A lot of the games they lost, they should have won. They just can't finish.
Yeah. Famous Jameis has made the Browns fun to watch with his quotables and all that.
They should have beat the Broncos. Winston. They should have beat them. That was a good game.
Oh, they went off in that game.
Yeah. Well, again, it's disappointing because I know coaching teams like that. It's hard to keep kids motivated to play games every week when you fucking just lose close ones. I'd rather just get my ass kicked and you know what's coming than lose a game at the end of the Raiders lost to the Chiefs. They could have just kicked the field goal and won it. Of course, who knows? Our field goal kicker missed 3 already, so I don't know if I fucking put it in his hands.
Interview the kids in your locker room. The players did everything they could to win. They look at Coach JC.
We tried everything, but he called this play and he fumbled. So fuck him.
We did enough to win.
I'll tell you this. I have this haunting in my brain from a youth team I coached one time. We were in a playoff game and we were fucking winning. And it was 4th down and 3. And everybody wanted to go for it. And I should have just did a hard count, tried to make them jump. Worst case scenario, we jump, we punt it. Everything's fucking good. What do? We go for it. Don't get it. It's a minute left in the game. They get the ball, score, win, we lose.
Oh, my goodness.
Fucking haunt you forever. 9 and 10-year-old Pop Warner still haunts me. Such a long time ago. All right, me podcast, you listen. Thanks for tuning in to
you just ripped out your heart, didn't you?
Yeah, it did. I still remember those days. So always try the best you can to win and lay it all on the field. So thanks for tuning in.
And sometimes you let your entire group of children down.
Shut up. That did not. I always see them in the grocery store. So thanks for those reviews. All right, make sure you tune, subscribe, and check us out. Yep. Hold it.